Okay, so have you ever stopped to think about how your prescriptions, those life-saving medications, actually get to your pharmacy right on time?
It's actually pretty amazing.
Yeah, like perfectly timed to when you need them.
Yeah.
Today's deep dive, we're going to talk about the unsung heroes of that whole process. Pharmaceutical goods distribution managers.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a stack of career resources here from RoleCatcher, and they break down what these managers actually do.
Yeah, it's way more than just deliveries, I'll tell you that.
Really?
They're like the behind-the-scenes conductors of this really intricate orchestra, making sure each medication moves seamlessly from the manufacturer all the way to the patient. And did you know this field is actually projected to grow by 5% over the next 10 years?
Wow.
Yeah,
So job security and basically a front row seat to the future of medicine.
that's it.
That's pretty dynamic,
Yeah.
which is exactly how this career guide is describing it. But I'm guessing it's not all
It's not all smooth sailing, no?
not all smooth sailing.
Right. No, this industry is constantly evolving. New technologies, regulations are changing faster than, I don't even know, like a chameleon in a disco or something.
Right.
It takes a special kind of person to really thrive in that environment.
Someone who can pivot from spreadsheets
Yeah.
to supplier negotiations in the blink of an eye.
Yeah.
Okay, let's unpack what it takes to climb this career ladder.
Hmm.
The guide lays out 4 stages, starting with distribution coordinator.
Okay, so imagine this. You're a coordinator. You are knee-deep in inventory software every day, making sure that each shipment is correctly labeled and accounted for. Because 1 degree off in that temperature-controlled storage and a whole batch of life-saving medication could be compromised.
Oh, wow. Talk about pressure.
Yeah.
So attention to detail is key here.
Yeah.
Then you move up to distribution supervisor, and suddenly you're managing people too.
Exactly.
That-
You're not
okay.
just dealing with boxes anymore. You're leading a team, setting schedules, resolving conflicts, all while making sure those deliveries still go out on time. And then as you progress to distribution manager, get ready for some serious strategic thinking.
Okay, so less about the day-to-day logistics and more about the big picture.
Yeah, think like forecasting demand, analyzing market trends, even anticipating future challenges like supply chain disruptions. You're basically the architect of this massive distribution network, making sure it's efficient, cost-effective, and adaptable to the ever-changing world of healthcare.
And for those who reach the peak, senior distribution manager, we're talking about leading large-scale initiatives, right? This guide paints them as the visionaries, shaping the company's entire future.
Yeah, imagine pioneering new technologies, forging relationships with these really important players in the industry, even influencing national healthcare policies. It's a position of incredible influence and responsibility, for sure.
So from meticulously tracking inventory to steering the future of pharmaceutical distribution, it sounds like this career path offers some serious growth potential, and not just in terms of responsibility. I'm not going to lie, one thing that caught my eye was that phrase, high earning potential.
Oh, yeah, and it's not just a phrase. We're talking a median salary exceeding 6 figures for those experienced managers.
Wow.
Yeah, this guide even breaks down salary ranges based on location, your experience certifications you have.
Okay, now we're talking. But I'm guessing those impressive salaries come with an equally impressive set of demands.
Yeah.
They don't just hand those out for showing up, right?
No, you're right. The pressure is definitely on. We're talking long hours, constant deadlines, and you always have to be aware that even the smallest error can have these huge consequences.
Yeah.
You're dealing with people's lives, essentially.
Right.
Yeah.
So high stakes, high pressure, high reward. That's kind of the tagline for this whole career, right?
Pretty much.
But let's dive a little deeper into those challenges. The guide doesn't really sugarcoat the potential for burnout here.
Yeah, it's real. And it's not just the long hours, although that definitely plays a part. Imagine this. A major supplier has a cyber attack, completely throws off your entire distribution network, and you're the one who has to deal with it. You're fielding calls from these hospitals that are freaking out. You're trying to calm down anxious suppliers, and all the while, you're trying to figure out a workaround to get those medications where they need to be, on time and in perfect condition.
I think I need to take an antacid, just hearing about it. So crisis management skills.
Oh, yeah. Top of the list.
Those are a must-have. What other curveballs does this guide, throw at us?
Well, beyond just the day-to-day stuff, there's the constant pressure of these evolving regulations.
Right.
Because it's not just about getting the medications delivered. You have to do it by the book.
Of course.
And that book is constantly being rewritten.
Can you give me an example, like something that illustrates just how strict those rules can be?
Absolutely. Think about the cold chain requirements for certain medications, like insulin or some vaccines. They have to be kept at this very specific temperature range. I mean, the entire journey from like start to finish, 1 degree off, and the entire shipment is compromised.
Oh.
Could cost the company millions of dollars. And more importantly, put patients at risk.
Yeah, that's a big deal. So it's not just about knowing the rules. It's about understanding like the why behind them and trying to anticipate problems before they even happen.
Exactly. You have to be proactive.
No pressure, right?
Right. This role requires you to be a logistics whiz, but also like a legal scholar and a risk management guru all rolled into one.
So how does someone even begin to prepare for a career with this much pressure and responsibility? Does the guide give any advice?
Well, it all starts with a solid educational foundation. And we're not just talking about any degree. They specifically recommend programs in supply chain management, logistics,
Yeah.
even pharmaceutical sciences. It's like building a house. You need the right materials and a strong foundation if you want it to survive all the storms that are going to come your way.
So you're saying my philosophy degree might not cut it?
Well, a philosophical mindset might help you get through those late-night existential crises, fueled by spreadsheets and caffeine. But seriously, that specialized knowledge is really crucial in this field. It's not just about what you know, it's how you think. This guide really emphasizes soft skills. Communication, problem solving, being adaptable.
So those late night study sessions fueled by caffeine and spreadsheets, those are actually preparing me for these situations.
Exactly. Those moments where you feel like you gotta pull your hair out, trying to figure out a spreadsheet. That's building resilience and problem-solving skills that you'll need when a real-life shipment goes off course.
It's all connected.
It really is.
Okay, so education check, soft skills check. But what about the actual day-to-day work? What does it look like to be a pharmaceutical goods distribution manager?
Honestly, every day is different, but this guide does a good job at outlining the different levels of responsibility at each stage. So should we start from the beginning?
Yeah, let's do it. Take us on a journey through the ranks of pharmaceutical logistics.
All right, so picture this. You're fresh out of college, ready to take on the world of life-saving medications. You land your first gig as a distribution coordinator. It's entry level, but don't let that fool you. You are essential. You're making sure those products are delivered accurately and on time.
So even at the entry level, it's a really critical role.
Absolutely. You're coordinating with suppliers, managing inventory using all kinds of software, and making sure every single package is labeled, correctly documented, and shipped according to all those regulations we talked about.
So meticulous record keeping.
Essential.
That's a must. Any tips for aspiring distribution coordinators out there?
Yes, embrace the spreadsheet. Become best friends with your inventory management software, and never, ever underestimate the power of a well-organized filing system. In this role, attention to detail isn't just a skill, it's like a superpower.
I like that.
Okay.
Okay, so you've mastered the art of the spreadsheet, you're a whiz with the inventory software, and you can spot a mislabeled package a mile away. What's next on our pharmaceutical adventure?
Well, with some hard work and a real knack for logistics, you might find yourself moving up to distribution supervisor. Now you're not just managing products, you're managing people.
Okay, so less about the spreadsheets now and more about the people skills.
Yeah, exactly. You're leading a team of coordinators, setting schedules, delegating tasks, providing guidance and support. It's not all sunshine and team-building exercises. Remember those unexpected crises we talked about?
Oh, right, like a shipment of temperature-sensitive meds going rogue.
Exactly. As a supervisor, you have to stay calm under all that pressure. Assess the situation, quickly make decisions, and guide your team to find a solution, all while navigating those ever-changing regulations and keeping upper management informed.
It sounds like a crash course in leadership, logistics, and crisis management all at once.
It's a lot, but it's also incredibly rewarding. You get to see how your work has a direct impact. You know, you're playing a vital role in getting those life-saving medications to the people who need them most.
From coordinating shipments to leading a team, the responsibilities just keep growing. But I'm guessing the rewards probably do too. What does the guide say about that next level up distribution manager?
This is where we go from tactical to strategic. As a distribution manager, you're not just overseeing the day-to-day operations. You're thinking about the big picture, long-term goals, how to optimize the entire distribution network.
So less about putting out fires and more about preventing them in the first place.
That's a great way to put it. You're analyzing market trends, forecasting future demand, and you're identifying potential bottlenecks before they even become a problem. You're also responsible for managing budgets, negotiating contracts with suppliers, and making sure that the company is compliant with all those regulations that are always changing.
It sounds like it takes a really unique combination of skills.
It does.
Analytical skills, industry knowledge, even a little bit of clairvoyance to predict the future of healthcare.
You need to be able to see the bigger picture.
Right.
But it's also incredibly rewarding. You're at the forefront of an industry that's constantly innovating, finding new ways to improve patient care.
From spreadsheets to strategic planning. This career path really has it all. But we're not done yet, are we? There's still one more rung on this ladder to explore. Senior Distribution Manager. What does it take to reach like the top of the mountain for pharmaceutical logistics?
Buckle up. This is where things get really exciting. Senior distribution managers aren't just leading the pack, they're setting the pace for the entire industry.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued.
So imagine this. You're not just responsible for your company's distribution network anymore. You're thinking about the global supply chain, anticipating those future challenges, and developing new and innovative solutions. You're also mentoring the future leaders in this space, forging those really important strategic partnerships. And you might even influence healthcare policy at a national or even international level.
Now, that's what I call impact. It sounds like a role for someone who's not afraid of a challenge, someone who wants to think big and shape the future of healthcare.
Exactly. And they do it all through the power of logistics.
It's amazing.
It's not for everyone, but for those who have the drive, the vision, and the passion to make a real difference, it's an incredibly rewarding and challenging path.
Okay, so we've explored this whole career path from the ground level all the way to the top.
Yeah.
But let's talk about something that I think is really useful here. The guide has this whole section on interview prep.
Oh, yeah.
Questions to expect. It's like they snuck into a hiring manager's brain and got the inside scoop.
I know. I love that part. It's so helpful. What I find fascinating is how those questions kind of change as you move up the career ladder. You know, they reflect the different skills and responsibilities at each level.
So for someone who's just starting out, maybe applying for that distribution coordinator position, what kind of things should they be ready for?
Well, they might ask something like, how do you prioritize when you have like a million things going on at once? Remember, even at the entry level, this role is all about juggling tasks and making sure those medications are delivered on time no matter what obstacles get thrown your way.
So it's like that classic interview question, what's your biggest weakness? But for logistics,
Exactly.
instead of saying, I'm too organized, you can say, I thrive in fast-paced environments where I'm managing multiple priorities.
I love it.
Okay, so for someone aiming for a leadership role, like that distribution supervisor, what does this guide suggest?
Well, they recommend preparing for those situational questions like, imagine a shipment of really temperature-sensitive medication gets delayed because of some crazy weather.
You okay?
What do you do?
So they want to see how you problem solve under pressure.
Exactly.
Like when things go wrong, because we know they will, can you think on your feet and make those tough decisions?
Right, and those skills become even more critical as you move into those strategic management positions.
Right.
At that level, it's less about handling specific situations and more about your overall vision for the department. So a distribution manager might get asked something like, how do you stay ahead of the curve when it comes to industry trends and technology?
So it's about always thinking ahead,
Yes.
embracing those innovations, and constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible in pharmaceutical distribution.
That's it. They're looking for someone who's proactive, someone who's out there looking for new solutions, whether that's optimizing delivery routes with AI or figuring out how to use blockchain to improve supply chain transparency.
And for those senior distribution manager hopefuls, the guide really throws in some tough questions.
Oh yeah, they get real.
They suggest prepping for something like, tell us about a time when you had to create a whole new distribution strategy for a company. What were the challenges you faced, and how did you measure success?
Wow. At that level, they want to see your leadership skills in action. Your strategic thinking, your ability to drive real impactful change within like a large organization.
Those are some high expectations.
They are, but the rewards can be just as significant. And it's not all about acing the interview questions. No amount of preparation can replace genuine passion and hard work.
Right.
This is a demanding field. It requires real dedication, a desire to learn and grow, and a genuine desire to make a difference in people's lives.
Well said.
Yeah.
So for our listeners who tuned in today to learn about pharmaceutical goods distribution managers, what are some key takeaways you hope they walk away with?
Well, first and foremost, this is a career path with a huge impact.
Yeah?
You're not just pushing papers or crunching numbers. You're literally playing a critical role in getting those life-saving medications to the people who need them most.
You're making a real difference.
Absolutely. And as we saw from exploring the career progression in those interview questions, it's a field that values continuous learning. You have to be able to adapt and definitely be able to thrive under pressure.
It's not for the faint of heart.
No, it's not.
But if you're someone who loves a good challenge, you're passionate about healthcare, and you're really organized, this might just be the perfect career path for you.
It could be.
That's it for today's deep dive into the world of pharmaceutical goods distribution managers.
It was a good one.
If you're interested in learning more, head over to our website. We'll have links to that RoleCatcher guide and some other helpful resources. And remember, this is just one of many fascinating career paths out there. So keep exploring, and who knows, maybe we'll inspire your next big career move.
See you next time.